Thank you for watching. I'd just like to show you how I think a first saddling should go. This one's about as good as you can make it. It's not always going to work out like this, but the idea is to do your best to make it work out like this. The reason this goes so well is not because he's a quiet horse, but because he's a horse that's been prepared. This guy's fairly sensitive. He's probably been girthed up 50 times with a rope round his belly, and then I usually put a roller or something on just so they've got to carry a girth. He's had preparation to have the saddle blanket on, so I can just throw that on. Putting the saddle on is just a formality after that. Learning to throw that saddle up there and allow it to sit down smoothly on the horse's back is an acquired skill. If you get really clever at it, you can make your offside stirrup iron hit the saddle blanket before it drops down so it doesn't just slap him in the side. Practice on a quiet old horse or on a fence or something before you attempt it with a breaker, but not being tentative and being able to just put that on there in one smooth action is very important. A lot of people nowadays are told that you should saddle from the offside so you can let your cinch down straight away. Personally, I've been saddling from the near side all my life, and I don't think it does any harm to walk around your horse as many times as possible. You notice more things, gets them more used to things going on, and I really don't think that does any harm. When I cinch up, I'm going to take it up until it's snug enough to hold the saddle very smoothly and slowly. I'm not going to just sort of rip it up. And I want it just tight enough to keep the saddle in place if he moves off or something happens. After he's stood there a while, I'll rub on him, and then I might take it up another hole just to make sure it's snug. Make that process. It doesn't matter if you make that process take 5 minutes. While I'm working on cinching him up, I have the lead rope draped over my left arm, and I sort of try and have it short enough so that I have a connection with him. This horse is very soft in the face. It's not hard to get him to bring his head round just a touch. Not enough that he moves his hind end away from you, but so that you have a connection with him. When your horse moves off, that's about the most dangerous part of the whole process. Usually it's when they move their feet that they feel everything tighten up around their girth, and you need that really solid, that desensitizing to that before you do it with the saddle. The other thing that can happen is they're not quite used to those stirrups flapping on their side, so we need to make sure that we don't just send them off quickly and allow them to get used to the feel of those stirrups. It's really all about the preparation before you start. I'm only going to get him to walk here, but he keeps trying to turn around to face me, so I'll do just enough to get him to straighten out a little bit and continue to walk. I'll try and move my body back away from his shoulder a little bit so I'm behind him a little. Right there, he's just turned away from me a bit. I'll just lead him out again. If you do have a horse break loose on you a little bit, make sure that your groundwork and your horse's ability to stay out of your space is pretty good. Don't do this with a horse that's likely to run over you, or you need those things solid. If your horse is a bit spoilt and likes to walk on people, there's a fair chance if something frightens him and he starts barking, that he'll buck clean over the top of you. I don't like to just take the halter off and let them go straight away. I've seen horses that been that frightened by an ordeal like that they never really got over it. If I have hold of the halter or the lead rope, I can help the horse a little. You know, often if they start to hump, if you take their hind end off them, you can shut that down and then just help them move off again in a relaxed fashion. So if your groundwork is good enough, you can actually help the horse in that situation. And once I'm sort of okay with the fact that the saddle's not worrying the horse too much, then I'll take the halter off and just let the horse do a mile or two with the saddle on. That just gets them used to things flapping around and carrying it. And, it's like anything, a few miles can be pretty good for them. I'm going to ask him to move around here a little bit. I just want him to be relaxed and want my transitions to be slow and smooth. I'm not just going to point my finger and cluck and send him. I want him to stay relaxed and just learn to cover a little bit of ground. He'll be a little tight to start with and step a little short, but you do enough miles, their head will come down and they'll start to relax and start to step right out. And, when I ask for transition, I'm just going to try and get it as smoothly as I can.